Friday evening saw sunny conditions with a nice southerly force 4 to send the jog fleet away on the Deauville race, which is run in association with the Royal London Yacht Club, Royal Southern Yacht Club and the Deauville Yacht Club. The race started on the Royal London's line with Class 5 first away on a spinnaker reach to the east at the start of a 100-mile race to Deauville. There were 14 boats in this class, and it was to take most of them around 21 hours to complete the light wind race. Paddywhack led the way out of the Solent on a beautiful evening to be heading across the channel. Coutard came out on top in Class 5. Although third to finish on the water, she won by 8 minutes on corrected time from a double-handed blustery day in second, with Alchemist taking the third place. 15 boats started and 13 finished in Class 4, although the cruise ship that dominated the Solent as they sailed west didn't actually take the start. Shades of Blue took the handicap win in this class by 27 minutes from another blustery day, with Dragonfly of Bosom coming home third. 8 boats started in Class 3 and 1 retired. Zinska took line honours at the Deauville finish and took the corrected time win. In second, by less than a minute, was the French yacht Eric Tabarly, while Night Owl was only another 7 seconds astern in third. The Royal Southampton Yacht Club started their double-handed race to Cherbourg later on Friday evening from a start line at the Royal Thames Buoy. We were there to see young Cowes sailor Ben Rogerson set off in his first race in his Mini Minx, in which he plans to circumnavigate Britain this summer. With a course that included just the start and finish lines, racers could go either way out of the Solent. And surprisingly, most chose to beat west against a still flooding tide, rather than hoisting kites to head east. We'd love to tell you who won, but, frustratingly for us, and no doubt for the sailors and their families, results were still not published on Monday when we completed this report, and the club wasn't answering the phone. Visit the Royal Southampton Yacht Club's website for more information. The RORC fleet set off from the squadron line on Saturday morning on the 230-mile Myth of Malham race, which takes the fleets west to the Eddystone Rock and back to the finish off North Head outside the Solent. The fleet started in a pleasant southeasterly force 3 and headed west out of the Solent on what was to be a long, slow race. With the first of the ebb starting to run on the island shore, some chose to start at the inshore end, but the majority opted for the mainland shore. With light winds over the weekend, the first finishers in Super Zero didn't cross the finish line until late on Sunday night. After a long, slow race, John Merrick's 2 beat Chernihiv 2 to line honours by just 20 seconds, but Chernihiv took the corrected time win ahead of John Merrick's, with Venomous taking third. Batfish 3 won Class 0 ahead of Cracklin' Rosie and Jammy Dodger, while Quokka, Puma Logic and Deliverance 2 took the top 3 places in Class 1. With many boats still to finish as we completed this report, check the RORC website for full results. Luckily, the Bank of England could still afford to hold its Cowes Regatta this weekend, and it was hosted by the Royal Corinthian Yacht Club. On Saturday, they sailed a pursuit race which was won by Chatwin Associates J35 Outrageous, and on Sunday, after an aborted start and long wait for wind, they finally got away around a short course in a light easterly. J20 won this race ahead of Lancelot and Jambo Team Hot Watch. For more information, visit the Royal Corinthians website. The 4th round of the Cowes Keelboat Solent Series was being run by the Island Sailing Club this weekend, and the Darings were first away on Saturday with a light easterly and a strong ebb tide. This caused huge bunching at the inner distance mark as boats attempted to approach it from above the inner end of the line, with predictable results. The first mark was South Ryde Middle after a long beat up the island shore against the tide, with the wind dropping away. First round was Finesse, followed by Darius and Division Bell. Their course took them to Flying Fish on the Bramble Plateau, then to Gurnard Buoy off Cowes, and with the wind dropping all the time, the race committee wisely decided to shorten the race at Gurnard. At the finish, Darius took the gun ahead of Finesse in second, with Dauntless climbing up to third. The Dragons only mustered 3 boats, and they were led in a processional race by Gabia Wilkinson-Cox's Jeroboa, ahead of Supremacy and Cavalier. The X1 designs, despite now boasting a fleet of 14 boats in their new Cowes division, could only bring 2 boats to the line. Rob Gray's Myrtle nailed the start and sailed away from Neil Clifford's Curlew to win easily. A double AP and a single AP kept the sailors ashore for more than 2 hours on Sunday in a wait for wind, but eventually a very light easterly breeze on the Schrape allowed a start. Only one dragon, Jerboa, came to the line, and they sailed the course, despite the fact that the race required 2 starters. The same happened in the X1 designs, where only Neil Clifford bothered to turn out. Let's hope we see more Dragons and X1 designs sailing soon, as it seems a bit pointless to have more people in the race box running races for these classes than there are sailors on the water. At least the Darings brought 9 boats to the line, for a repeat of Saturday's start, with most of the boats trying to barge in at the pin, this time resulting in some gentle collisions. Again, one boat got away clean and led the fleet up the Schrape to the first mark of Gale's HSB. From there, they sailed a short sausage course in the strip of wind blowing inshore. At the finish, it was double knot ahead of Decoy, with Decanter taking third. The lack of wind continued on Bank Holiday Monday, but the Darings did manage to get a race in after a 2-hour delay, and it was won by Giles Peckham's Dauntless by 6 minutes from Decoy and Dynamite. 2 Dragons raced, with Supremacy beating Cavalier, while Myrtle won a 2-boat race in the X1 designs. Apparently, sailing's not all they do at the Royal London Yacht Club, as our camerawoman found when she popped in to cover a chocolate demonstration by Andrew Gravitt from l'École du Grand Chocolat Valrhona.
And I'm delighted and really honoured that Valrhona should agree to come and send Andrew to us for this wonderful demonstration.
Valrhona is a chocolate company based in the south of France, very near to Lyon. It's a company that produces chocolate from the plantation to the finished article. The beans are roasted, and then they go through a machine to take the shell off the bean. So then we end up with the cocoa nibs, okay? So these cocoa nibs, you can eat them, they're fine, but these cocoa nibs are then put through a grinder, mixed with sugar, with lecithin, which is an emulsifier, and then put through rollers, okay? And then what we get is a cocoa paste.
These truly scrumptious chocolates are available from Chocks Away here in Cowes. That's all for this week. Join us next week for our coverage of the Vice Admiral's Cup and the Red Funnel Cowes Keelboat Championship.